Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only game news show brave enough to hope that Starfield will turn things around.
Oh, it's nice to hope, isn't it? I don't know what it is about Todd Howard, man. I constantly believe he's going to come back for me. He's going to give me the flowers he always said he would. And someday I'll be able to fly around in Starfield like I always should have.
Oh, man. Todd loves you. I know it. Also, thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring Inside Games today. More about them later. But first, let's talk about Todd Howard and Starfield.
Oh, God. Here we go again. All right. Yesterday's general update patch for Starfield apparently contained some hints at exciting new features that might be in the works for Bethesda's black sheep of a space RPG.
Boy, might is doing a lot of work in that sentence. So.
Apparently, allegedly, a lot of heavy lifting words, yeah.
While the patch's 16 gig download size caused some grumbles, considering it only contained small tweaks and stability improvements, other folks on the Starfield subreddit found rays of hope in new references in the game scripts that imply interplanetary travel is in the works.
Ooh, that's an awfully fancy word, interplanetary. Yes. But don't get your hopes up too fast. This is Starfield after all. It is a disappointment engine. The post goes over all of it. Reddit user Zealous Ideal Buyer 7 credits XTC Refugee in ferreting out tons of new references in a Reddit post packed with game script screenshots.
All right, well, that's exciting. The new scripts reference cruise mode and defined events based around the ship entering or exiting that mode.
Events like on-ship cruise arrival and, just simple Boolean check functions to see if the ship is or isn't in cruise mode. Other cross-checks to controls and templates that swap around when the ship enters or exits cruise mode, things like that.
There are also references to something called far travel, with various cross-checks done against cruise mode. Also, one script appears to depict a chance of generating a random encounter when exiting cruise mode. That sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun. Yeah, flying around, going from planet to planet. And to be explicit, this does appear to only reference planet-to-planet travel, not seamless ground-to-space flight like we all want, but Todd Howard told us we didn't care about. So I guess we don't.
No, we don't. If Todd tells us we don't care, Lawrence.
You know what? He's right. I forgot.
All of this is really neat. Though, technically, obviously, you can already do this in Starfield because modders did this, within weeks of the release of the game. Yeah, we'll go over all that after a word from our sponsor, Rocket Money. Inside Games is sponsored by Rocket Money. If you go looking in your credit card statement, you're going to find that you're being charged for a lot of subscriptions. Well, Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Once you connect your bank account to Rocket Money, it'll identify all of your subscriptions in a single list. From there, you can select the ones you don't want anymore, and Rocket Money may be able to help you cancel with just a few taps. Rocket Money will also automatically scan your bills to find savings. With just a couple of taps, Rocket Money can help negotiate your bills for you, from internet service to cable and phone bills. You're not going to have to do one of the things that I hate the most, customer service calls. Just let the app's negotiators go to work for you to try to get the best possible rate. Rocket Money has helped its customers save up to $740 a year when you use all of the app's premium features. They've also helped customers save over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So, to save more, spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/inside-games or click the link in the description to get started for free. That's rocketmoney.com/inside-games. Save money, get rid of those unwanted subscriptions, and support our channel.
Thank you very much, Rocket Money. All right, back to our story here. Bethesda could be adding interplanetary travel to Starfield, which is cool and all, we guess, even though it was kind of already in the game. And yeah, modders already did it.
Yeah, they did. Friend of the show, Alana Pierce, spent 7 hours flying to Pluto and Starfield. It's a great video. Only to find out that while you can get to a distant planet, you can't interact with it really at all. There's no collision. None of the prompts to land appear. It looks like a JPEG. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that it actually does render a giant space field that is kind of to scale. But what's not so cool is that, it doesn't load in an actual planet and let you just land on it. Also, like we alluded, and is pretty typical sometimes with Bethesda games, modders beat them to it.
Yeah, Astrogate by Reality IDR adds Super Cruise and planets that automatically load in when you get close enough.
Shit like that frustrates me. No, I'll get to it in a minute. No. Before I start, uncontrollably venting about Starfield, we have to acknowledge if you enjoy Starfield still somehow, probably pretty starved for some kind of good news these days, an update, a new DLC, something.
Yeah, the game did not appear in Xbox's big June showcase. I had predicted that they were going to release Starfield this fall, actually, on PlayStation 5, and I was wrong. When Bethesda announced this update back in July, they alluded to revealing, quote, the exciting things we have planned for Starfield in the coming months.
I guess we're in those coming months, but they haven't left yet. There's still months to come and go, so there's still time to hope. We assume that those exciting plans involve a second DLC and a PlayStation 5 port, potentially at the same time. I think that's kind of the new rumor that's going around, is that there will be some Starfield Ultimate Edition that has both DLCs included, and that'll be the PS5 edition. Makes sense, but goddamn, Bethesda's taking their time. They were used to making games on multiple platforms, and somehow this is just taking them forever. I don't. It doesn't make sense. It's uncharacteristic.
It is really weird. I mean, I would say, oh, well, they were working on Oblivion Remastered or whatever, but that was Virtuos. So, I mean, I'm sure they did some work on that, but, you know, they outsourced it to another studio. Did a great job. Maybe, I don't even, are they working on Elder Scrolls 6 or? That's
what they say.
Right? They say they're working on Elder Scrolls 6. What about, no Fallout, right? I don't know what else.
No, that has to wait until after Elder Scrolls, and who knows when that's going to hit. Sheesh.
I mean, are they working on Fallout 76? What are they doing?
Yeah, I guess so. They're still, right. They added fishing.
I mean, I love Bethesda. I do. I love Bethesda. Like, I want to play every single game, and I want to play as many games as they can make. But they are making it very hard for me here.
Yes, yeah. I mean, a lot of developers have struggled with the massive scale up in game scope and stuff, and struggled to, I think, to organize those teams. And I think Bethesda, just from the outside, you don't have any interior information here, but just based on the pace of release and their lack of agility, it seems, in any kind of business regard, it seems like they've really struggled with growing headcounts and keeping all those people working on meaningful things. Starfield seems to have a lot of work in it that just didn't go anywhere or wasn't in service of a function. So this is a great illustration of it. Like the fact that when you're in a space like scenario, when you're in that 3D space, you can fly to other places. Like they're out there and you can make your way to them. It's just a velocity factor or a time dilation factor. They could have your ship like actually be able to do it, but it seems like it's so technically possible. I mean, a mod's already doing it. It can be a little buggy, to be fair, but I don't know. It's just baffling that all the ingredients are there, but they don't seem to be able to combine them into a properly baked video game. And that, theoretically, I mean, I'm trivializing it, but that's the easiest part. Like getting the technicals all working, that's where all the time and effort goes. And then just stitching it together with scripting and like doing the smoke and mirrors show. I don't know. I'm getting off on a rail here, but like, it doesn't make sense to me that you can't do some kind of like locked in seat perspective thing where you're flying up out of a planet. When you sit down, just have like a part where the like vision line dips down. The loads are so fast in Starfield. That's the other thing. It's like, again, all the technicals are there. You could easily like load in and out all the assets in the like fraction of a second that you're having an animation of somebody climbing into a chair. And then you just like render a tube going up into space, and then there's like a cloud layer that passes, and boom, now you're in space. So, I don't know. They could have hacked it together, and instead they just chopped out features and chopped out features. So all the glue that holds all those little pieces together is just completely missing. I don't know. It's like a bum knee. It's all grindy and aggravating.
It's like somebody took an arrow to the knee, Lawrence.
Oh!
I mean, Lawrence is not a game developer. Just like myself, we're both computer scientists, but we are not game developers. And all the things he's describing do sound easy. I am betting that somewhere along the way, there are a couple features that somebody was like, we could just put these together and we've got ourselves a little loading screen that you can fly up from planet to planet. And they're like, this breaks something down the line. This breaks this breaks this, this breaks this. Like, let's just don't worry about it. The load screen. And that's all I ever see are complaints about Starfield are the load screens, really, truly. So like, someone at some point in this development should have been like, no, we're going to do flying planet to planet. We're going to do planet to landing. We have to do it. It's part of the experience because it truly is. Starfield's I think a really cool video game and got lots of fantastic ambiance. That would just add to it. That would just make the experience even better. So there's some crazy thing that breaks in the code because they were like, no, it has to be 7 load screens. And it's just like, it's so, and like we said before, the modders just did it right away. So I don't know. I don't want to say that they're lazy. That's not something I want to say. I want to say that they tried to get it ready for release. They couldn't. However, they've now had 2 years to do this. In my opinion, the next 2 years should then be them, all right, figuring out how to patch this. And that, to me, is more indicative of the way they're actually running this game, is getting it to release. You know what? I'm fine with that. 2 years afterward, there's no rush. So someone could be like, hey, we can fix this. We can fix the load screens. And I bet, again, someone in management was like, no, this is the way the game is now. It has to be like this. If we go back on it, then it looks like we're weak. So that's what it feels like to me. But they can fucking fix it. Like right now, I know they could.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad you brought that up because some of the way I'm talking makes it sound like I'm trivializing it or it's like the lazy devs thing. I prefer to think, what's the alternate series of events that makes more sense? It's just frustrating to play a game that does certain things really, really well, and then it seems like anytime there was a slightly painful decision to make, they always chose we'll just cut it. Like we'll just put in another load screen, whatever. So there wasn't the person or people or group of people or producers that was like, no, like, or maybe, I don't want to, it can overrun into uncomfortable territory of like, no, we're going to stay late to get this feature in. I don't want to seem like I'm arguing for that either, but what you said is kind of the counter to that. I was willing to forgive a lot of that on launch, or accept it at least, if you could see the features start to roll in and fill out more of a full and ambitious game experience. But I don't see, I haven't seen an ounce of ambition at all since launch. And that could have gone a long way to like filling in whatever this game experience was supposed to be, or at least showing some kind of vision.
Yeah, I'll credit where credit's due. They put in the rover. And they also worked really hard on people are going to hate this, the mod store that you have to pay for some of them. Not most of them are free, but that mod store works really well and breathes new life into Starfield. If you ever feel like you want to get back into it, don't even start the game again. Just mod the whole thing because it's really fun. There's lots of really cool mods in that store, and they make it really easy to install. So there are those things, and there have been like random tweaks and things like that. But gosh, man, this just one. It's so weird because I don't want to stick on the fact that there's a bunch of loading screens, but it's so prevalent. It happens so much that you're like I'm so tired of it cutting to black. Like, why does it do it over and over?
Yeah, I don't get it. There should have been enough time to come up with some kind of corny magic trick to make that a little less obtrusive. But I guess that's where the game's at, and that's where it's going to stay. At this rate, I'm kind of excited. My presumption was, if it was going to go to PS5, that they would add in a lot of these features, and then once the game lands on that platform, it'll be more of a proper competitor to the contemporary games that it's surrounded by that do all those features and more. But it doesn't seem like there's any urgency there, so I'm not sure what's going on. We'll see. I'm curious to see if/when the game hits PS5, how people on that platform will react to it.
The rumors are it's either going to get announced or released next spring on the PlayStation. That's what I had read an article just a few days ago about the fact that Starfield looks like it's going to make its way over there next spring, which is crazy. We're looking at almost 3 years after the release on Xbox and PC. So I feel like they should hurry. Maybe Lawrence, you know what? That's actually really good. Maybe they are actually going to put in a no load screen patch for PlayStation, and then they can release it and be like, it's a whole new game.
Yeah, and if they're being quiet about it's not a good idea to get hopes up. But yeah, that would be a pretty good moment. That would be a good marketing beat. It's kind of hard to get anyone to pay attention to your game. So yeah, if you port it to a new platform and it's fixed now, certainly if those fixes get pushed retroactively back to other platforms, yeah, that'd be a good moment. So let's hope that that's what they've been working on all this time.
And not to get too meta, but the last time we reported on Starfield about how modders were abandoning Starfield, I tell you what, every comment was like, no, they're not. Modders are doing more work than ever, blah, blah, blah. I heard you there. I really did. It really feels like people have abandoned Starfield. Just from where I'm standing, that's what it seems like. Now, it's great that there are lots of modders still trying to make mods for Starfield to make this game good, in addition to Bethesda doing their own mod store. So I for sure heard those comments. Maybe it feels like Bethesda has abandoned Starfield. Maybe the modders are still doing their work, but Bethesda themselves are kind of like, oh, we'll get to it. So maybe that's what we're all feeling.
Yeah, I was just taking a gander at the recent releases in the Starfield mods section, where you can be Savage Opress.
Oh, I love that character from Star Wars.
Destiny music replacer. Great.
How many new mods were there in the last week or two?
It was like 30 or so. Looks like.
All right, they're working. Modders are working.
Well, we're pulling for you, Starfield. Pulling for you. We support you, but hopes aren't high. You're like that kid that just won't move out of the basement.
But we want you to go out on your own, is what we're saying.
Yeah, we want you to succeed. We want you to pay your own rent, stand on your own 2 feet one of these days.
We'd also like to thank a couple of real space cadets that I think are standing on their own 2 feet because they're sending us some money every month. Monkey Butlers and E Compton 3, thank you for the support to the Inside Games Patreon. And I'm gonna say you probably maybe don't live at home in your mom's basement, but maybe you do, but probably not. You're probably adults.
Thank you. We're gonna celebrate by buying Skyrim again. One more time, huh?